It's the day after the storm. Ice, of course, a huge concern all weekend, and we had days to prepare for it and days to tell you to stay inside. Natalie Dale was one of those advising you on how to best go about that. She joins us now from GDOT. Natalie, good to see you again this morning. The day after the storm, how would you grade drivers from over the weekend?
I'm going to give them a solid 9 out of 10. It would be 10 out of 10, except for the drivers we did see out on the road were going entirely too fast for conditions, which I think is bound to happen when you have open, clear roads, which is the 9 out of 10 part. At the sort of peak of this, we saw an 80% reduction in volume on our roads, which was perfect. Chef's kiss. That's exactly what we needed to see on our roads for us to be able to get the amount of work done that we did, which has resulted in the state the roads are in now.
80% reduction. Did that even surprise you?
It does surprise me because, I've said before and I'll say again, after 15 years in this, wearing this hat, people sometimes choose not to listen to me, oftentimes choose not to listen to me, sometimes, at their own risk. And so when you have that many people heed a warning, it means that we really are doing the job that we need to be doing to keep people safe, and they're heeding that warning. So we hope that citizens don't take this sort of as we dodged a bullet. Here we are, we're out of the woods and it's just because of the weather. No, it's because we did what we needed to do and we had the time to do it. So massive shout outs to our crews who are out there spreading the brine, the rock, and the salt to be able to get the work done and get the roads in the condition they're in.
Yeah, and what goes on today? I mean, it is going to be cold, especially as we head into tomorrow, too. Is there any more kind of treatment that needs to be done?
Yeah, we're still out there working, so everyone should hear that. As you return to the road today, just be aware that our crews are still very busy in Metro Atlanta. They are still working on checking bridges and overpasses, areas that are in the shade that might have black ice. So we're out there scouting for those icy patches. Again, behind me, you'll see we've got great road conditions in many areas. Still, because of the extreme cold, we still have that chance for icy patches, black ice, especially on the shoulders, in the shade. So we've got crews out and about checking and spreading for those. In the northeastern corner of the state, the bulk of the work we're doing, in addition to finding those icy conditions at interchanges just like this, that was a great pull-up, interchanges just like that, is also the trees that are down. Of the about 30, before I got on with y'all, we had about 30 road closures in this area. 20 of them are due to down trees. So it's not just road conditions, again, that we're dealing with. The bulk of what we're helping with now is clearing a lot of these trees out of our roadways.
Any of those major intersections that people need to know about right now? Any specific places you want to pass along of where not to go?
Yeah, I'd just be real careful up in Habersham County, White, Lumpkin, those areas, especially when you get to intersections and interchanges, any elevated surface. That's where we're seeing the most accumulation. But as you can see, there are plow crews. We watched this last night. You can see where our plow crews have been clearing that lane. You can see where they haven't been because there's still accumulation there. But again, brine did its job, the rock did its job, the salt did its job, but it can't get out there to do its job without our crews being on the road to do their
Mm-hmm.
job. So we had, full activation as a statewide plan. We were able to shift people and materials up to the northeast corner yesterday when we really saw that was going to be a heavier impact. So the best use of people and materials.
Natalie, schools are going to be closely watching the forecast and the roads today as they decide whether to resume normal operations tomorrow, maybe go on delay, maybe close. From a transportation perspective, what should principals and superintendents and parents and teachers, for that matter, be considering today as they weigh their options?
Well, we know that school superintendents put the safety of their students paramount. So what is going to be needed in one school system, maybe in the northeast corner of the state, isn't exactly what a superintendent who's, let's say, in Cobb County, that decision might need to be. So I know that they work very closely with groups like the National Weather Service, with meteorologists like Chesley, to make sure that they have all the information, that they know all the road conditions. We're communicating that with them so they can make the best decision, not for all the students in the state, but for the best decision for the students in their district. And that really is very specific to different areas of Georgia. When you look at what we dealt with as a state yesterday, we had 4 tornado warnings in South Georgia while we were treating for an ice storm in North Georgia. So a lot of diversity in what's going on with weather and road conditions at any point in Georgia. So I do not envy superintendents for having to make that call, but families, parents, even, I'm a parent too. I have a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old. They're probably watching, and they're home from school. And I don't envy superintendents for having to make that decision, because they have to make that decision well in advance so everyone can plan ahead. Some people like it, some people don't, but just know that they are putting your students' safety paramount, first of all.
Yeah, absolutely. Natalie, I guess my final question to you. When do you get to go home, see your 6 and 9-year-old, and when do all these hardworking road crews get to go home and be with their families too?
Well, I'll be here for the bulk of the day, just making sure that we are communicating any unforeseen issues with y'all. Y'all have been great to communicate with throughout this, really bringing up-to-date information to your viewers. So we can't thank you enough. We couldn't do this without you. And so we'll be here through the bulk of the day. Crews are going to stay on. They're not out of the woods yet, so we will. They'll keep working until we're not.
All right. Well, if school's canceled again tomorrow, we might have to share a babysitter.
Yeah, hopefully not.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.